So for those of you who don't know, I'm a really big Blasphemous fan. I already did a video with doing the mea culpa that wasn't that complete because at the time I didn't have a good camera. Now I do, not that good. You can see. But it is way better than what I had. So now I really want to scale it up and starting doing more and more projects, especially with the Blasphemous vibe, because I really like the vibe. So for today's video, I did a little tiny sculpture with the Penitent one head. You can see here this little fellow. So I'll just show all the process and all the steps to you and hope you enjoy it. So the first thing I did was I took some air drying clay because I just moved it to another country actually. So I still don't have an oven, which is not ideal. And I can work with regular clay in an oven, so I have to do with that for some time. Anyway, so the first thing I did was I started to shape the face because it's the hardest thing to do. And well, after it was ready, I just added some more clay around it to do the little cone, the little head-shaped cone, the little gnome head. That's it. And I let it dry for some time and was basically ready. After it, I sanded a little because the surface was not that smooth. So yeah, I just moved it out, really simple. And then it came the nightmare because it was a time for the spikes. And the little base of the spikes, that I don't know the word in English, sorry, I'm not a native speaker, which are kind of branches. This thing, okay? So this part I as well tried to do with air drying clay, and it never worked out. I tried several times, at least 10, and it always cracked and was terrible. When I was about to lose my mind, I finally thought, why not just change the material? I mean, it was that simple. So I started to search some more materials that I could use instead of regular clay. And I found those little guys that are quite cheap. They come in several colors, as you can see. And they are basically shapeable foams. You know, the foams that people use for cosplay, to do armor and so on? Yeah, but you can shape them with your hands. And the good thing about those is that they are quite flexible. This way you can shape them in tiny structures and they won't break. Actually, they basically don't break. So they were perfect. I took any color, I don't actually remember with the color I used it, and I was finally able to do those branches. With those ready, it was time for the spikes. And again, I thought about using this new foam, this new material. I thought about using regular clay, but the complicated part is that they are quite rigid and they are quite thin. So if you want to use clay, it won't get that thin, and if you do it, it will break. And the same thing with this foam, like it won't get straight if you try to do it really thin. So I just thought, what looks like a spike that I can use? A spike. So I literally went to a garden that is quite near my new house, and I got those from the ground. It's literally a branch and literally contains spikes. So this is not stealing, is it? I really hope this is not stealing. I hope I'm not. FBI, open up! So I just took those spikes, I take them like this out, and that was it. After I used some super glue, glued in the branches that I did, and voila! The regular structure is all ready. The next step was painting. So for this project I used some acrylic paints, and I really don't like to buy the exact tone that I'm going to use in the piece. Why? Because it's way more expensive. So my suggestion is that you buy the basic colors, let's say red, blue, yellow, green, black, white, those, and mix them together to get the tone that you want. I mixed basic green with a little bit of gray that I got from, of course, white and black, and I did the basic coloring. After, I decided to take this tone that I did and do a little bit more dark to give some shadow. And of course, to do some highlights, I used some more white. this is the basic result from the painting. Actually, I forgot. There is one more thing, that is the blood. If you haven't played the game, know that the blood is really highlighted. I mean, it's a really vivid red. But I thought this kind of red wouldn't suit that much my tiny little sculpture, so I went with a more realistic red that I got from mixing red and black. That is a really dark red. And I just did some details, especially in the spikes, like if they hurt something or I don't know actually. And that was it. It was quite a simple project, but at the same time I am quite happy with the result that you can see right here. This was a really cheap project. If you consider all the materials and painting that I used, it was not even $2. So really cheap. You can do it at your home at will and use as decoration. Why not? Maybe make your guests question your sanity. And voila, this is the ending result. I really hope you guys liked it. If you have any doubts, if you have any suggestions for the next videos, please comment. It helps a lot. So that's it. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.
Ela é amiga da minha mulher.